Elon Musk, I just finished listening to your conversation with Joe Rogan. Uh, the last part of it was really quite powerful and thought provoking. Of, well, where are we headed? Where are we going 20 years from now? It does seem very obvious that the age that we are in is changing and primed to pass on and be transformed into something else. The I will bring up the example of religious faiths of Buddhism and Christianity, and Buddhism by proxy, um, or related to Hinduism as well, that these faiths have the next prophecy being the age of eternity, that we have been in an age of darkness and are arising, and that the next eon, the next phase, is the age of eternity. I think our founding fathers had some implication of this too by making the Great Seal of the United States a double-sided seal, that at some point it would flip over, and that the next phase, the next age in our development will be the age of enlightenment, the age of eternity, the going onwards into eternity. In the book of the Revelation says that the earth is lifted up out of the water, the ocean being the symbol for chaos and death, and that it is raised up, the city New Jerusalem, the city of God, Yerushalem, meaning Yeru, meaning city, Shalem, meaning peace, the new city of peace, the dwelling place of man and God in harmony, and from it flows the water of life, and that it was the new age, the moving on into eternity. Day and night are no more, for the light of God shines there. And the Buddhists have a similar prophecy of a future Buddha coming, whose Dharma, truth, teaching of love and enlightenment will last for 10,000 years and go on into the age of eternity. Hindus have a similar prophecy of Vishnu, the avatar of the preserver God, coming to earth to bring forth the age of eternity, and that's what we are headed towards. And one could talk about the earth being raised up out of the ocean as moving on into the stars and living out, our dwelling place being among the stars, actually being lifted up out of the earth. Your comments about, or your conversation with Joe, went towards talking about the fall of Sumeria and the fall of Egypt and these great civilizations. We could also talk about the fall of Rome and why they divulged the way they did. The biblical narratives talk about idolatry, and that these falls were God's punishment for idolatry, the worship of false gods, ideologies, gods created with human hands that cannot see or speak. You could extrapolate this towards blind and foolish ideologies, and what the children of Israel have is that it's a covenant with this living God. I've also watched much of your conversation with Jordan Peterson. It was really interesting listening to you and Peterson speak. I'm a big fan of his and his work, and he does have a tendency to speak a lot and not listen as much, and I did sense there being a disconnect and a shift, but I think you as well, I think you recognize his brilliance in his field as well. You're both extremely brilliant men doing wonderful things, and his ideas have a lot of, they carry a lot of weight, and they're quite intelligent. Of speaking of learning, like, of breaking down God into a way that's intelligible to the scientific and rationally minded person. And I've also heard you speak of how you really respect the Christian morals and what the downfall of Christian society will mean. So I do have a lot of hope in your outlook and your vision of using capital not for personal benefit or personal benefit for the betterment of others, using this to bring forth a grand vision of beauty and unity and technological advancement and moving past our current confines. But I think a lot of this comes from a ethical understanding, a agreement in love, a loving agreement and forgiveness, and a faith and hope in the restorative power of love over hatred and life over death. That's all I have for the moment for this video. I plan to make more as the inspirations come. Sending you blessings and hope to strive towards a better future together with all of the rest of mankind, because we are all really in this together. We are on this blue orb spiraling through space together, and it's in our unity that we will transcend and bring about this new order, this new age. So